Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DKL, and welcome back to Doki Fallen Angel. Oh man, I like this mod. It makes me feel things. It makes me feel the happy things. It makes me feel the sad things. It makes me feel the mad things. All the things. It makes me feel all of the things. And Yuri is awesome. There's also that. Yuri is great. Love Yuri. Last episode was Yuri's birthday! Woo! We took her on a very long date. Lost a lot of money. And planted a tree, and we named it Yuri Booper. Because that is the Super Booper X Yuri's ship name. Yuri Booper. It's official. The afternoon sky begins to take hold as the girls talk about different things. Eventually, Natsuki stands up. I have to start heading home now. It was nice spending the day with you. It was nice hanging out with you too, Natsuki. Ugh, gross. We all share a laugh. The only laugh you can have when surrounded by friends. A laugh that takes the moment and encases it in your head forever. It's a memory you wish you could hold on to just for a little bit longer. But we end up saying our final goodbyes, and Natsuki soon disappears through the crowd. Wow, I butchered that sentence. Now it's just Yuri and me. Just Yuri. Just Monica. And me under the shaded cherry blossom in the center of the courtyard. I had a lot of fun today, Super Booper. I did too. The orange sun shines its light straight into my face. The large horde of students has also diminished to just a few groups as well. Shall we walk home? Yuri flashes a smile brighter than the sun in my face. Let's go. I guess this is where we part ways. Yes, I'd prefer to get a good night's sleep after today. I understand. I just want to go to bed too. I'll see you tomorrow. I have my follow-up appointment tomorrow, correct? Yeah. Dr. Langton wants to see how you're holding up with the medication. Of course. Yuri has always seemed nervous around Dr. Langton. But she's been doing great. I don't believe she's even shown any noticeable side effects. Good night, Super Booper. She lays a quick kiss upon my lips before turning and vanishing into her home. Good night. The last remaining bit of sunlight has left me. I walk alone on the lamplit street. I gaze into the ray of lights in the dark and watch the dust float through them. My feet stop in their tracks in front of Sayori's house. There's an emptiness in my gut. Sayori's bedroom light is on. Part of me imagines that it's Sayori. Maybe she woke up and returned home safely. I blow out and watch my breath form mist in the cool nighttime air. Oh gosh, it just got very dark. The last remaining lights in Sayori's house all suddenly flick off. Now I simply stand in the dark, beneath a halo of street lamp. I let out a sigh once more. Well, I don't want to catch a cold out here now. I begin to step inside my house and go to sleep. A light glow shines onto my eyes, waking me up. I tighten my eyes before finally opening them. I extend my arm to grab my phone and bring it to my face. Saturday, 9:42 a.m. Ugh. I look out the window. There appears to be some heavy cloud formations growing. Perhaps a storm is coming. I climb out of my bed and start the day. I flop down onto my living room couch. For a while I just sit there in the serenity of my empty house. Always empty. Psst. Huh? I bring my phone into my field of view. It's Yuri. Is it okay if I start heading towards your house? I type out a response. Yeah, that's fine. My arm falls limp again as I sit lifeless on my couch. I feel so bored today. Hopefully Yuri shows up soon to save me from this void that is my living room. For the next 20 minutes, I just sit on my couch staring at the ceiling. Suddenly, I hear a bell. That must be Yuri. I heave myself up off the couch to make my way to the door. I gently open the door. Yuri appears on the other side. Hey, what's up? Good afternoon, Super Booper. Are you ready to go? Let me make sure I got my wallet. I slap my butt as hard as I can. Yep, I got everything. Let's go. Was that necessary? Yuri and I step outside and head towards the psychiatrist's office. Hello, you two. Welcome back. He speaks in his casual, upbeat tone. Not exactly the kind of voice you'd imagine a psychiatrist to have. I shake his hand, like always. He then offers his hand to Yuri and they shake as well. Well, shall we get started then? He gently opens the door to his office and gestures for us to step inside. We walk over to the couch and take our seats. Naturally, Dr. Langton sits in the chair opposite to us. So as you know, this is simply a checkup. I just want to make sure the medication is working, everything's fine, etc. Okay. Yuri fidgets in her seat. That's odd. After all this time, I figured she'd be used to Dr. Langton by now. I guess we should start with the most blatant question. Have you been self-harming at all, Yuri? She shakes her head. No. That's good. He scribbles in his notebook. And I believe school started back up again, is that correct? Yuri nods. Yes. And how's the first week back? It was fine. He continues to stare at Yuri. Just fine? Yes. Something feels off here. Even with the exception of Yuri being an introvert, her one-word replies seem unnatural. It's like she's forcing the words out. Dr. Langton leaned over his knees, examining Yuri. After a short time, he leans back into his chair. He looks down at his notes, readjusts his glasses, then looks back up at Yuri. Are the kids at school treating you okay, Yuri? What do you mean? I'm just asking how the students behave. Are they nice, cheerful, are you making friends? That kind of stuff. They're okay. Dr. Langton stares at Yuri for a few more seconds before finally writing into his notepad. Is Yuri not gonna bring up the group of boys? Maybe it's not important. Or maybe it is. Yuri is acting weird, even by Yuri standards. But is it really my place to say anything? I'm just a bystander in their meeting, after all. But I feel like it's the doctor's right to know. I have to speak up. Well, we've only got one option here, and I would do it anyway, so talk about the group of boys. Hopefully Yuri doesn't resent me for bringing this up. Well, there was this one interaction yesterday. Oh? He leans onto the edge of his seat. Yuri jerks her gaze onto me. There's fear on her face. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. Too late to go back on it now, as I've already opened the can of worms. It wasn't anything really, just a group of immature boys shouting obscenities. Dr. Langton bites down on the tip of his pen. After a short period of thinking, he finally says something. And how did that make you feel, Yuri? I catch a glimpse of her hands trembling. She presses them into her lap as an attempt to cover it up. You can be honest with me. I won't judge you or think any less of you. I was angry, embarrassed, sad. There were so many emotions at once. It was like a 0.9 earthquake came and shook the very fabric of my soul. And then several equally as powerful aftershocks hit me right after. Yuri takes a moment to collect her thoughts. The doctor remains silent as well. But then Super Booper acted. He got us out of that horrendous situation. And I'm very thankful for that. She clenches my hand and gives me a soft smile. Well, Dr. Langton scans over his notes. That's good to hear. I understand school can be a challenge, and I know kids can often be brutal at times, but I think as long as you two have each other, there's nothing that will hold you back. He gives us both a huge, almost cartoon-like smile. Anyway, moving on. How's your prescription holding up? If I recall correctly, you should be requiring a new order soon, is that correct? He flips through some papers on his desk to reassure himself. Correct. Well, the pharmacy already has the file, so you can go get it. So you can go at your own time. Moving his arm up in a large motion, he not so casually checks his watch. Well, he then clasps his hands together. I think that's all we have for today. Any questions? Yuri and I exchanged glances. No, I think we're good. Wonderful. Feel free to contact me on when you want to schedule your next appointment. With that, he begins to shuffle us out of his office. We arrive at Yuri's house. Well, that went fairly well, I'd say. What do you think, Yuri? Yuri? Are you okay? She's been acting weird recently. Or weirder than usual, in any case. I'm fine. Fine? Whenever a girl says that, usually things are the complete opposite of fine. I subconsciously begin to take steps towards her, but Yuri begins to back away like an animal caught in a cage. However, she only backs away so far, and I find myself inches from her. She's only a little shorter than me, allowing us to maintain eye contact fairly easily. Even with that, she refuses to look me in the eyes. She begins to slowly open her mouth. Breathe, Yuri. Take a moment to collect your thoughts. It's something she's done time and time again. Finally, she speaks up. I'm going to drop out of school. What? Drop out? She can't actually be serious. Okay. Time out. Rewind. You're what? There's a tinge of annoyance in my voice. This is why I didn't want to tell you. I knew you would be upset. Wait, how long have you been keeping this from me? For a while now. I feel disappointed and also a bit furious. The thought of Yuri hiding such a big decision from me hurts. Why are you just now telling me? I didn't want you to worry. Yuri, all I do is worry about you. A contorted expression grows on her face as if she just saw me kick a puppy. I didn't realize I was such a burden to you. Someone you always have to think about and worry about. That's not what I meant. I'd hate to be a burden to you, Super Booper. I didn't say that. I guess I'm just not capable of looking after myself. After all, I'm just the girl with scars along her arms. The girl with no friends other than words on a page. I'm useless. No, Yuri, you're not. Then explain why you feel the need to spectate my life every waking moment of the day. Don't get upset at me for the secrets you've been hiding. Look, now we're getting off topic. Back to my point, you can't drop out of school. Why not? You just can't. It's not your decision to make. Regardless, it's still a bad decision. You just don't understand. That's the problem. You never tell me. Okay, answer me this. Why do you want to drop out? Your grades are exceptional. It has nothing to do with my grades. Is this because of the boys yesterday? I told you not to worry about them. My voice grows irritated with each sentence. It's not just that, it's... What is it? I can't say. No, we're not keeping any more secrets from each other. Tell me what's wrong. I don't want to talk about it. No. I've worked too hard to get close to her, and once again she's shutting me back out. Dang it, Yuri! My thoughts are cloudy. I don't know what to do. If I let her shut herself in, she may never come back out. Just tell me what's bothering you. I can't. I feel my bloodstream heating up. Please stop resisting my help. Please don't do this. Do what? Help you? Listen to you? Actually take the time to find a medical professional to treat you and all your problems? Everything I do, Yuri, it's all for you. Yuri shakes her head while trying to hold back tears. I didn't want this. You didn't want this? Of course, Yuri. How could I forget? I'm just the guy who chased you down, barged into your house, and forced his way into your life. Unwanted. It's not like that. Then what is it like? I don't know. Please just stop saying that. Surely you have to know something. This is going nowhere. My hands are shaking as if I drank a liter of an energy drink. I can feel the steam rising out of my ears. I have to keep pressing forth. This is what she did when I first found her cutting her wrist. She pushed me away as far as she could. I can't let her ruin her life. I catch a glimpse of myself in the window. My enraged reflection stares back at me. What I see disgusts me. Here I am, yelling at the girl I thought I loved. Super Booper? Yuri's voice snaps me out of my daze. She's no longer yelling. In fact, her voice is so quiet it's barely audible. I don't want to see us like this. I love you. Love. I've heard that word so many times the past several months. I've heard it come from Yuri's lips, my best friend's lips. I feel it's been said so much it's lost all meaning. If you really loved me, you would tell me what's wrong. If you trust me, you would give me time. I don't know who to trust anymore. I can taste the venom dripping from my teeth. It's bitter yet satisfying to feel spit out of my mouth. A tear glides down Yuri's face. All the memories we made, the stories we shared, the time we spent. I guess even hot love has a cold end. I look her straight in her eyes, the windows to her soul as she puts it. I suppose they're just bittersweet memories at this point. I feel like a failure. After everything I've done, you still don't trust me. Yuri's retracted body only makes me feel worse. It pains me to see her like this, so why can't I stop? Now it's my turn for my voice to be barely audible. Why don't you like anyone? You don't see the messages. What messages? What messages? The ones that everyone saw. I think to myself, last week, the boy in class who stifled a laugh at a long message. Two loud girls in my class. They were talking about someone in some text message. What was in the messages, though? I have to know. I look back at Yuri. She looks lifeless. But I have to make a choice. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, this is a hard one. Obviously, Yuri wouldn't want us to press the topic, but if we don't, then we will never know what happened, and we won't know how to help her. But I guess we just have to trust her as she says, and just trust that she'll tell us when she's ready, I guess. I can't carry on. She refuses to let me in. She created a wall around herself that I'm not strong enough to tear down. For the second time in the recent months, I felt completely useless. If only there was a word to describe the emptiness I feel right now. I can't do this anymore. What do you mean? It's like glass, Yuri. Sometimes it's better to leave it broken than hurt myself trying to pick it back up. Yuri's taken aback from my statement. Her eyes begin to feel like waterfalls. The tears don't fall. They crash. Go away. What? Go away, Super Booper. Her voice is still barely audible, but there's force behind her statement. So this is how you want it to be. Please, just go. I don't say anything after that. There's nothing left to say. I stare at her for a bit longer. I take in her long purple hair, her woman-like body, and her lavender eyes. The lavender eyes that, even red with tears, still pierce straight into my soul. I turn on my heel and leave her house. sad. For once, it's not the morning sunshine that wakes me up. This time, I'm shocked awake by the sound of crashing thunder. There's a storm screaming outside. Without the sun, I have no idea whether it's morning or afternoon. I check my phone. 10:24 a.m. It's a bit late. It's not too bad. I climb out of bed as the rain continues to pour. I sit down on the couch. Resting my elbows on my knees, I press my face into my palms. What did I do yesterday? I yelled at Yuri for no reason. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I smacked my forehead repeatedly. I got upset and allowed my emotions to get the better of me. This is my fault. I feel like my insides are being pricked by needles. I really am a failure, huh? There has to be something I can do. I need to apologize to her. Lightning continues to strike outside. I look outside my living room window. It shows no sign of stopping either. The rumbling continues to shake the ground. Flashes of white fill the glass screen. I run back upstairs. Throwing open my closet, I grab my raincoat. I'm going to apologize to Yuri in person. Good man, Super Booper. Draping it on, I begin to prepare myself for the icy rain. What in the world? I pull out my phone from my pocket. It's a random number, but I recognize the area code. Hello? Hello, may I speak to Super Booper, please? Speaking. And who's this? I'm calling from Northeast Medical Hospital. The hospital? And why are you calling me? You're listed as the emergency contact for Miss Sayori? Sayori? Is everything okay? Yes, she's awake. My grip loosens and my phone nearly slips out of my hand. Awake? Sayori's awake? My mind begins racing faster than lightning outside. This is incredible news. So incredible I forgot how to speak. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I see her? Of course, that was the whole purpose of this call. Okay, I'll be over there soon. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Goodbye. I hang up and jam my phone back into my pocket. Without another thought, I tie my shoes and dash out into the storm. I arrived at the hospital. Oh. I'm not sure if he should have gone to the hospital first. I guess it makes sense. Sayori's just waking up, and his issues with Sayori lasted longer than his issues with Yuri. I arrive at the hospital. Its cold hallways do nothing to warm me up from the freezing rain. I begin to walk towards the secretary desk. Halfway to it, the hospital doors fly open. A brown-haired man wearing a regular shirt and jeans comes barreling through. He has a worried expression. He cuts past me into the secretary desk. She points the way to a door. He rushes to the doctor down the hall. The doctor, with a sour face, points to a room. The man finally rushes into the room. I'm at a loss. Alright then. I finish my trek to the secretary desk. May I help you? I'm looking for Sayori. She begins to scroll through her computer. Your name? Super Booper. Perfect. Miss Sayori is in room 309. She points behind me. Just take those elevators to the 3rd floor and follow the hallway. Thank you. I practically run from the desk to the elevators as if it were a race. 3rd floor. Wow, looks exactly the same as the 1st floor. Why does every part of a hospital look the exact same? I silently curse the architects, basically. I don't want to go back to that because there was a curse word. There's a line of doors before me. As I walk past them, I take note of the numbers. 307, 308, 309. I lightly knock on the door. Well, I was gonna do it, but thanks, game. There's no response. My hand presses down on the handle. I gently open the door. I walk into the hospital room. Somehow it's even colder than the hallway. My eyes pan through the blank walls. I spot Sayori lying on the bed. Oh. Sayori. Super Booper. Ah! I cross the room in a flash and embrace Sayori. Oh my god, I was so worried. I'm so sorry, Sayori. Super Booper. Is that really you? I could ask you the same thing. couldn't feel her soft skin in my hands, I wouldn't believe it was actually her. It's been so long since we've seen Sayori. I stifle my sobs and collect myself. I stand over her bed. I'm so sorry, Super Booper. No, this is my fault. I should have done more to be there for you, Sayori. I was so caught up in my own feelings, I never thought about you. I was selfish. Sayori just smiles sadly. You're silly, Super Booper. Huh? That was not the reaction I was expecting. I was the selfish one. I did the most selfish thing possible. I didn't think of anyone else in that moment. Her eyes are red from tears. I watch as they glide down her cheek and crash onto the plain white sheets of the bed. I'm just glad you're awake. You're actually awake. I repeat myself just to confirm this is actually real. I was so scared. I really can't put into words how concerned I was. I'm sorry I made you sad. I wave my hand dismissively. Enough with the apologies. Let's agree to just both be sorry. The corners of her mouth raise. Okay, so how is everyone? Good. I nod reassuringly. Everyone's good. Natsuki's holding down the fort for you. That's nice of her. And you and Yuri? A pang of guilt flashes over me. I still haven't apologized to her. We're fine. I lie through my teeth. Sayori's been through enough. I don't want to worry her with my problems. I attempt to shift the topic. I know I sound like a broken record, but what the heck? Okay. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm just really glad you're awake. I was losing sleep over you. Meanwhile, I was gaining sleep. The fact that Sayori can still keep her aloof attitude, I find somewhat admirable. Knowing she's okay does put a smile on my face. I just want things back to normal, Sayori. She stares out the window. Do you know what it's like being in a coma, Super Booper? No. Can't say I do. It's kind of like you're sleeping. Time passes by differently when you're asleep. When I woke up, I was worried I was 50 years in the future and everyone would be all old and wrinkly. It was so scary. She stares at me with her sky blue eyes. There were times when I was aware of my surroundings. Aware? I could sense things, if that makes sense. It doesn't. Sometimes I could feel the nurse changing out my IV, or I could hear the doctor having a conversation outside. One time I heard the doctor discussing with my parents on the phone about something called the patient's right to die. Whether or not it's ethically okay to put me to sleep. My heart drops into my stomach. Just hearing those words causes my leg to grow weak. It was like I was watching a movie of my own death. And the scariest part was I couldn't use my legs to run away. I didn't have a voice I could use to call for help or talk to myself or keep myself company. It gets lonely. You see your fears come to life. I'm glad I'm not afraid of the dark. She gives a giggle before returning to a serious tone. Or as serious as someone like Sayori can sound. Especially with the voice I gave her. It's hard to escape your inner demons when you're encouraged in your own mind. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Sayori. I placed my hand on hers. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. Who knew you could learn so much while being asleep? I'll make sure to tell my teachers that. We share a small laugh between us. That sound gives me a nostalgic feel of our childhood. Back when Sayori and I would play around the block, climb trees, cause mischief, I refuse to believe that girl is gone. But as I look into her eyes, I see despair. Would it be better to go back and change what happened? Don't dwell on the past. She says that as if she could read my mind. Like I said, I learned something while asleep. This experience showed me what I have become. The solution I took to try to stop the pain, and in it, I almost lost the most important thing to me. My eyes have been opened to something newer, something greater. What's the word for that? Yuri would probably know.
I don't know if I'll ever beat my depression. But I do know I won't let it beat me. It will be a lifelong battle.
I'm willing to stay by your side through it all.
I think I'd like that.
Sayori gives me a smile, and this time it's a genuine Sayori smile. A smile that fills this bland white room with hope, purity, and warmth. Everyone's gonna be really happy to see you back.
I'm sure. You know, for a second I was expecting both you and Monica to be here.
Monica? Why would we be together?
When I woke up, I actually spoke to her. She said you and her would visit me.
Sayori, I think the anesthesia is still affecting your brain. How would Monica get a hold of me?
She has your number.
She what? Monica has my number.
I gave it to her when you joined the club. It's only obvious a club president should be able to contact your members.
My mind is racing, having a hard time keeping up with its own thoughts. The pieces of the puzzle slowly start to take form.
Super Blooper, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Sayori, where's Monica?
I believe she said she's stopping by around...
She looks at the clock on the wall.
Oh, how convenient. She should be coming by any second.
I need to go to the bathroom. Do you mind?
Not at all.
I turn on my heel and power walk out of the room. I run down the corridor. I don't look where I'm going. Suddenly I find myself falling. Ugh! My head starts to throb. The cold tiles press against my face. Ugh. I place my hands on the floor and push myself up. I collect my bearings and look to see who I ran into. Of course! Sayori said. How convenient. Hi, Super Booper. You know, you should really be more careful. Even if we're in a hospital, it's best not to hurt yourself. Cut the banter, Monica. I know what you've been doing. I stick my finger in her face. This ends now! Why are you trying to freak up my life? What do you mean, Super Booper? You think I'm dense? I figured out your little game. All those strange texts, they're from you. Well, it took you long enough to figure that out. I kind of agree with Monica on that one. What's wrong with you? Do you find enjoyment ruining other people's lives? I could ask you the same thing. None of this would have happened if it weren't for her. Her? What are you talking about now? You and your little girlfriend. You think you can intrude on my life? We didn't intrude on anything. What did we ruin your perfect life? Yes. I'm stunned by her straightforward answer. You did. Everything was perfect. My family was loving. My grades were second to none. Everyone loved me. I had friends. I had a club I was proud of. The only thing missing was someone to share it with. And then you came along, and finally I had someone to share my life with. But you didn't choose me. Monica's voice grows louder with every sentence. You didn't choose me. Why, Super Booper? You could have had something perfect, but instead you chose a broken girl. You shut your mouth right now. I step face to face with Monica. You can't do anything now. I tried to warn you. I tried showing you her true side, but you were too oblivious. Why? Why couldn't you have loved me instead? Hospital staff and even some patients have been silently witnessing our quarrel. My life could have been perfect. Why didn't you choose me? Maybe you're not as perfect as you think. Monica's shocked by my words. I recognize that look in her eyes. Same look Sayori showed me when she confessed about her depression. Same one Natsuki showed when she spoke of her father. Even the same one Yuri had when she told me about her cutting. They all shared that same look in their eyes. The look of fear. Fear of being lost in an unforgiving world. I don't want any of this, Monica. I just wanted a normal life. That's not what was given to me. Just like you, I had dreams of a perfect life. This world isn't perfect. You have to learn that eventually. Monica looks heartbroken. Her words come out as a whisper. No. I worked too hard for this. I worked too hard to get what I wanted. But in the end, Monica gazes down the hall to where room 309 is. I hurt the ones I love. Love. What a stupid word. You need to accept the past, Monica. Moxie! My dog is barking. It's a terrible time. Everything you do has consequences. You have to live with them. You can still change who you are. Why did I say that? Maybe it's the look in Monica's eyes. They all share the same look. Just like Yuri, Monica's a lost girl in a cruel world. I feel a little pity for her. We can forgive you. Monica shakes her head. You don't know what I've done. It'll be okay, Monica. I told everyone. Told everyone what? It's the only way to get her out of the picture. Monica's emerald eyes begin to turn red. And once again, I find myself eye level with a crying girl. Told everyone what? I have connections with a lot of people in school. I sent out a message to nearly the entire student body. Monica, what was in those messages? She refuses to look at me. Told everyone about Yuri. About her cutting. For just a moment, my heart stops beating. I stand there for a while in shock. The sound of nurses walking by, the EKGs beeping, even the storm outside has been drowned out by my own silence. I feel like I'm floating in a void. As I stare into the abyss, it stares back. Same feeling when I was told Sayori was in a coma. This time I'm not crying. I've become numb to pain. Time doesn't heal wounds on the heart. They just fill with scar tissue and the pain lessens. But the pain never truly leaves. Why, Monica? It's the only option I had left. The only way I knew to bring you to me. This is why Yuri wanted to drop out. Whenever she goes to school, everyone will know what she's been hiding. Everyone will see her as the girl who cuts herself for pleasure. My mind races and my heart beats out of my chest. I can hear my own blood flowing rapidly throughout my body. My eyes begin to flutter to every single inch of these colorless halls. I whisper to myself, I need to find Yuri. Even after all this, you still can't let her go. I look up at Monica. Every cell of my body wants to beat her to the ground. I ball my fist. All I need is for my nervous system to send the signal to my hand. Send my hand flying through the air. But I just stand still. Instead, I use my last reserve of energy to make a break to the hospital doors. My feet carry me as I trudge through the icy rain to Yuri's house. I throw myself against the front door and reach for the knob. Locked. I don't bother knocking. Clumsily, I lift the doormat and find the spare key. After numerous attempts with shaky hands, I finally stick the key in. Once I hear the bolt turn, I throw the door open the door. I pan my eyes frantically through the downstairs of Yuri's house. It's barren. I search everywhere, but there's no signs of Yuri. She had to have left some sort of trace. I begin opening all her drawers and cabinets. Upon opening one drawer, I find something that looks familiar. I take the cylindrical object and it makes a rattling sound as I lift it up. In my hands is a bottle of pills. A full bottle of pills. The pills that Yuri was supposed to take to suppress her urge to cut herself. I read the label. Each bottle contains exactly 60 pills. Rip open the cap and pour the pills onto the table. I scatter and I use my hands to push them into a pile. Sliding each pill one by one, I begin counting. 1, 2, 3, 9, 18, 25, 36, 49, 57, 58, 59. With my index finger, I slide the last pill next to the others. 60. I I stare blankly at the pile of medicine, unable to focus my thoughts. For a second, I even begin to forget where I am. I'm interrupted by a single raindrop hitting the counter and making a small splash, followed by another, and another. Look up. To my surprise, there's a wet spot on the ceiling that appeared and is leaking. First I assumed the rain, but then I remember I'm on the first floor. An imaginary blueprint of Yuri's house begins to form in my head. If I'm in the kitchen... If I'm in the kitchen, then directly above me should be Yuri's bathroom. I rush upstairs at an ungodly speed. I crash through the bedroom doors. Immediately, my eyes begin to look around for any signs of Yuri. Alas, there's no one here. Except, beside the bed, is an open box. My stomach churns as I slowly creep towards it. It's Yuri's knife collection. We never threw it out. As I walk up to it, I notice a single empty spot where a blade once laid. Something else I notice. The sound of water. Not the melodic orchestra of raindrops on a roof. The running water of a faucet. I crane my neck towards the sound. It's coming from the bathroom. I reach out and tightly grip the handle. Locked. I have no intention on knocking. I step back and prepare myself. Oh my god. I know I haven't really been talking much other than reading, but Jesus. Wow, okay. I'm afraid of what we'll find, but here we go. I run full speed at the door. My shoulder connects with the wood and I'm bounced back. Again. I plant my feet firmly. Another sprint to the door. Again I hit the door. I'm bounced onto the floor. My shoulder aches in pain. I get up and plant my feet again. Third time's the charm. I run full speed. I hurl my body against the wood. It gives, but it doesn't open. Once again, I'm on the floor. The door busted off its hinges. My body is crying in pain. I use my good arm to push myself up. After collecting my thoughts, I replant my feet. Again. I summon every bit of strength I have. My shoulder crashes into the door one last time. It breaks open. I lay on the floor, my energy sapped. I can no longer move my arm. I fear I've dislocated it. My arm is screaming in agony. I'm trying to move, but I'm in too much pain. I also notice I'm wet. Sweat? No, not sweat, but water. The floor has become covered in water from the faucet. I try to collect my thoughts as much as I can. With my good arm, I steady myself and look up. This isn't gonna be good. Yuri? What? What the heck? No. I try to shout this, but my voice barely comes out. No. No. No! I sprawl towards the tub. Yuri lays in a red-tinted, water-filled tub. I hunch over the toilet and throw up. However, my stomach is empty and my abdomen just cramps and tightens. My vision begins to blur as tears fill my eyes. I watch as they crash and join the scarlet river on the tile floor. To say I can't think properly is an understatement. I lift myself up. There's no pain as the adrenaline courses through my body. Yuri? Yuri? I grab her chin and tilt her face towards me. Yuri? I shout in denial over her still body. Her fair skin has now turned pure white. Her purple hair is now tinted red from the pool. I lift her arm out of the water. They show new lines, each going perpendicular to the ones of the past. Her emotionless face stares into nothing. I just sit on the blood-stained floor and stare at her. Tears continue to flow down my face. The only thing I can do is stare into her lavender eyes, and for the first time, they fail to pierce back into mine. inside me, the things that I see. This isn't real. I still think maybe there's a chance. Maybe if I take a second glance. This isn't real. My mind is just playing a trick, a reality I choose not to pick. This isn't real. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I shouldn't believe it. It's just lies. It's not real. What isn't real can't hurt me, so why do I hurt? This isn't real. 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 It can't be real. For the second time today, I found myself in the hospital. The other side this time, the emergency room. I sit on the colorless, starched sheets of a hospital bed, a sling over my right arm. With adrenaline gone, I rely on painkillers to keep myself stable. My memories are only stored in pieces. I visited Sayori in the hospital. I ran into Monica. I found a full bottle of pills. I broke down Yuri's door, and then I called 911. My head is still throbbing. It physically hurts to remember the events that just transpired. My eyes switch between the four walls that surround me. I stretch my neck to look out into the emergency room. Nurses and doctors occasionally walk by. Finally, one nurse steps inside. Hello. Hello. How are you feeling? I don't know how to answer. My mind is drugged by both painkillers and shock. The nurse then goes into a procedure of asking questions to assess my mental state. Can you tell me your name? Yes. Shock is one heck of a drug. What is your name? Oh, Super Booper. She continues to read some notes on the computer. Do you know what day it is? I had a visit with Dr. Langton Saturday, which was yesterday, so Sunday. The nurse nods. Do you know where you are? The all too familiar looking walls answer that. Hospital. I stare at the navy blue sling around my arm. You dislocated it. We were able to pop it back into place, but it will take some time to fully heal. It's best to keep it in a sling for a while. Yuri. Where's Yuri? The girl you came in with? I'm sorry, I'm not her nurse. I believe she's being treated by a doctor down the hall. I bolt off my bed and exit the room. The nurse calls out, Hey, wait! I continue to run down the hall. Whoa there, kiddo. A man in a white coat intercepts me. Are you the doctor? I am a doctor, yes. Wait. You're the one who came in with that girl. Yuri? Where is she? Is she okay? The doctor's face says it all. Why don't we take a seat? He puts his hand on my shoulder, but I swat it off. No, I don't believe you. Let me see her. Where is she? I'm sorry. By the time we were able to treat her, it was already too late. You're lying. You're lying. She's not dead. She's not... My mind begins to fail coming up with the proper reaction. I see guards turn the corner, quickly approaching me. The doctor places his hand up as to motion them to hold off. I finally collapse onto a wooden bench. The doctor gets down on one knee and places a hand on my shoulder once more. I press my face into my palms. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. I learned something on this bench just now. The bench where the little girl is told she has cancer. The bench where a child learns their parent had a fatal heart attack. Or a mom is told their son was in a horrific car accident. The same bench where I'm told the one thing I cared about in this world has been ripped away from me. The exact same bench where I learned that love isn't something tangible. True love only exists in moments. Then another moment is gone before you even knew you had it. Okay. Anger. 7 deadly sins, lined like a shopping list. Which one do I pick today? I grab the bright red bottle and pop the cap. Veins fill with hate and eyes fill with torment. Fists clench, ready to break. Break anything and everything. The fires of hell corrupt my soul, lashing out at anyone who comes close. Tears and ripping and tearing at the things I love, tearing at my very being. I'm no longer myself. The spirit of wrath knocks on my door, and I'm foolish enough to let him in. 4 days later. Doc, you ever look at someone and your heart just melts? I'm sorry about what happened. I still can't believe she's really gone. He jots some things down on his notepad. How does all that make you feel? Empty. I don't really feel anything anymore. It's a bit hard to describe, really. Do you know what nothingness feels like, Doc? Your mind has had some time to process the initial shock. This period can be a dangerous time for you. A lot of different emotions may go through your mind. Look, can you just give me medication or something so I can leave? We'll get to that. I can't just give them to you straight away. My eyes traced the walls of the room. Can you tell me what's on your mind? What's on my mind? I repeat him absent-mindedly. What's on my mind? It's good to get your mind off the event. You don't understand, Doc. I can't get it out of my head. My voice cracked with every word. What do you mean? You weren't there. I began to raise my voice at him. You didn't see the look in her eyes. You didn't have to sit in an ambulance and tell the paramedics what happened. You didn't have to relive every single moment while being questioned by the police. You're not the person who every single time I close my eyes, Doc, I just see her sitting in that bathtub. I just want that image out of my head. That's why I need you to give me some pills or something. Okay. I look up at him. It's gonna be okay. I can give you a prescription based off what you're feeling. So just keep telling me what you feel. I don't feel anything. I scream at him and slam my fists onto the table. I just don't understand. I did everything right. I did everything I could, but it wasn't enough. How does that make you feel? Stop asking me how I freaking feel! I shoot up onto my feet. Please, Super Booper. Don't say crap to me. I point my finger at him maliciously. You don't care about me. I'm just another patient to you. You don't care about me or Yuri or anyone. We're all the same in your eyes. Just another paycheck for you. I spit my words sharply out of my mouth. We're just a way for you to feed your fancy lifestyle. Maybe some fancy jewelry for your wife or a fun vacation with your kids. That's all we mean to you. You know that's not true. I chose this profession because I want to help people who aren't strong enough to help themselves. I scramble back and forth around the office. My voice cracks under my anger. Just give me back my life! I grab the coffee table and topple it over. Papers fill the air as the doctor instinctively jumps back. Pens clatter against the floor. You sit on your chair, ask me a couple questions, then you send me on my way. You ask me about trauma as if you know what I'm going through. You see so many people with so many problems, and yet you look at them all the same. So who's the real crazy person, Doc? He stands there like he's frozen in place. That's what I thought. I'm out of here. Super Booper, please. I storm through the door and don't look back. I sit bitterly on my couch and bury my face into my palms. My hands tremble in anger. I run my fingers through my hair until it looks like I've destroyed a bird nest. Tears begin to stream down my face. Tears of frustration and anxiety. My legs launch me back up at mock speed. For some reason, I can't stay still. I begin to pace my living room floor. My eyes continue to flash between the corners of my house. I don't think my eyes have focused on one stagnant object all day, now that I think about it. Ah! I scream at the top of my lungs in order to release all my bottled up anger. Ah! I collapse back onto the couch, my energy sapped. My breathing grows heavy and raspy. For some reason, my frustration still hasn't left. I lean over the couch and grab a potted plant. Flinging across the room, it shatters against the wall. Shards ricochet in every direction. My heart continues to beat furiously. If this goes any longer, my chest is going to explode. I throw my body into the wall. With a loud thud, my knuckles collide with sheetrock. Again. My fist goes through the wall. I slowly retract my hand back. My knuckles are covered in blood. My right arm in a sling and my left hand bloody. I absentmindedly stare at the red patches of lost skin around my knuckles. It's funny how the same color we used to represent love also represents anger. I guess they're more or less the same. They both can destroy something within seconds. Both only ever end in pain. My body gives and I fall onto the floor. And just like me, my world comes crashing down as well. I lay lifeless. I clench my fists until my knuckles turn white. I let out a long breath. Eventually my body relaxes and the color of my knuckles return. My heart still continues to beat irregularly. I take a look at my wounds. I just don't understand. Why me? Physical exhaustion eventually overtakes my hyperactive mind and I find myself drifting off to sleep. Another one? How many of these are there? When's the next happy time? Bargaining. These poems are going through the steps of grief. Why wasn't it me? Take me instead, but leave her here. I lie awake in bed, flooded with all my fears, because it should have been me. I don't know what went wrong, how she got away. I should have known along I couldn't make it all okay. So it should have been me. I'll change my way of life just to see her again. I'm in so much pain and strife. I guess this is the end, so just take me. That's not how you work, from what I can infer. You won't bring her forth, so I can just be with her. So if you won't take me, I'll take myself. I wake up on the living room floor. My body feels heavy. I don't remember much of anything these past few days. I try to push myself up. Every muscle in my body begins to scream in agony. Mustering all my strength, I lean up against my couch, pin my eyes around the room, extending my neck and see broken remains of my potted plant. It's weird being isolated for so long. I've lived my whole life in an empty home, however, now is the first time I actually felt truly alone. They say loneliness is a universal fear of all living creatures. Why couldn't it have been me? I slowly rise up and begin to pace the room. My eyes dart from one focus to the next. The hole in the wall, the broken vase, my bloody knuckles, my slinged arm. There's more to it, I know it. I grab a stack of paper and pen and begin writing things down. With a slinged arm and busted hand, it looks more like scribbles than anything. I continue to incoherently write my thoughts down. To anyone else, it would look like a mess of sporadically placed lines, but to me, it's a timeline of all the events. I look at the mess before me. Now, where to begin? What could I have changed? Could have arrived at the house sooner. Was it too late? Earlier than that. I continue to shoot my pupils through to different parts of the scribbles. What stirred this? The argument? The messages? The boys? The medication? Earlier than that, Yuri's home life. If only I'd met her sooner. No. I should have stopped Monica from telling anyone. My mind races from one thought to the next. I should have paid more attention to those texts. I should have kept an eye on Yuri and made sure she was taking her meds. How could I not have known she wasn't taking her meds? I shout this to my empty kitchen. The response: that's fine. This is fine. I'm fine. The mess of papers on my counter says otherwise. If only it didn't take me so long to break down that door. Maybe if I called 911 sooner. These thoughts continue to form a hurricane within my head. It's making me dizzy. What if I didn't visit Sayori in the hospital? It had to be that. That wasted too much time. Or was Yuri already gone by the morning? I should ask her. How would I do that? I look up at my ceiling. Hey. Anyone there? I'd like to make a deal. Yet, I get no response yet again. Any chances I can get Yuri back? I'll pay you. Become a better person. Is that what you want to hear? My head sinks down in shame and I stare back at the maelstrom of paper. I whisper to myself, I've gone insane. Like a deer, my head jerks to the sudden sound of my doorbell. I open the door with as little effort as possible. Natsuki appears on the other side. Hey. Is for horses? I mutter my response with as little enthusiasm as possible. Can I come in? I guess. I turn around and walk back to the living room. I could care less if Natsuki follows me. She follows me into this cell I call home. So, you doing alright? I think so. I don't look at her. Instead, I stand hunched over, eyes staring blankly at the ground behind her. Natsuki begins to take a look around my house. Her eyes glance at the hole in the wall, then at me, then at the potted plant, then at me, then at scribble markings on my counter, and then back at me. Super Booper? I throw my hand up dismissively. I don't want to hear it. I want to stand in silence for a moment. She opens her mouth in protest, but then closes it. Silence is a fragile thing. It can be broken by just a slip of the tongue. It makes you wonder, how can something so heavy be so delicate at the same time? Why? Why what? Why'd you come here? To check up on you. Why? Did you feel bad for me? Worried that I'd kill myself? Afraid that I'd jump off the nearest bridge and drown myself just so I can see Yuri? You're all the same. You, the doctor, the kids in school, me. I tried to be different. I really did. You were different. If that were true, Yuri would still be alive. This entire time I fight to hold back my tears. The feeling of sorrow smothers me completely. She really did love you. I know. That's why it hurts so much. I look away from Natsuki, trying to hide the fact that I'm crying. Can you please just leave? I'll be fine. I assure her. I just need some time alone to think. Thank you for coming and checking up on me. I know you mean well, but I'd rather be alone right now. She stands there quietly for a moment. I wish I could go back. Believe me, I really do. We can't, Super Booper. I'm really sorry for what happened. I feel the same as you. All this time my friend was hurting, and I never knew. Some nights I lie awake and wonder where it went wrong. What I could have done to change it all, but there's no use letting it consume you. You have to move on from your past. She looks down at the ground sullenly. I know I did. She recollects her thoughts and faces me again. You have to accept what happened eventually. I know it's hard, but time heals all wounds. With that, she turns on her heels and leaves my house. She's wrong. Time doesn't heal wounds. Time just lets you grow numb to the pain. I stare back up at my ceiling. I just want her back. I just want to hold her again, look into her eyes one last time. At least let me say goodbye. I fall to my knees. I'm back in the same spot I awoke this morning. On the uncomfortable carpet, I decide to close my eyes once again. Another one? Oh yeah, it's going through the stages of grief. Depression. Outside is a smile, inside is a frown. Outside you see a hole, inside is just the pieces. Outside is warm, inside is cold. Outside there's emotion, inside there's emptiness. Outside you hear laughter. Inside there's only silence. Outside there's a bed, there's a smell of flowers. Inside is rotten and tainted. Outside is a bright sunny day. Inside is dark stormy night. Outside can find success. Inside knows only failure. Outside is just lies. Outside is a mask. Inside the mask is pain. Inside the mask is fear. Inside the mask is nothing at all. Because I am nothing. Until I put on the mask. I jolt awake in a cold sweat. I look around my room. How did I even get here? Last thing I remember was Natsuki visiting me yesterday. Was that yesterday? What day is it? I look outside my window. There's nothing but gray. I climb out of my bed and immediately fall to my knees. Ugh! My head is throbbing. I head towards the bathroom to cool off. I turn on the cold water and begin to rinse my face. Over the running of the faucet, I hear an ominous noise. You failure. Huh? My head jerks up and I find myself face to face with my reflection. He has a twisted grin on his face. What's happening? You couldn't save her. What's wrong with you? Do you know how unimportant you were to her? Stop it. You let her die alone. No. Stop it! She died alone. Shut up! I cover my ears with my hands. I squeeze my ears so tightly my ear canals begin to hurt. You're not real! Oh, I'm as real as you are. I'm just a reflection of you after all. He, or I, say that in a matter-of-fact way. You can't hide from yourself. Stop talking to me. Do you know how much you meant to her? Why are you doing this? You meant everything to her. And then you yelled right into her face. This is insanity. Insanity? Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Shut up! Please! I lean my head atop the counter. My tears leave my eyes and crash onto the tile. You're gonna need a wet floor sign. Freak you. Whoa, that's no way to speak to yourself. I hate you. You seem to forget that I am you. So therefore, you hate yourself. It makes sense, really. You're mad, depressed, in denial. Those terms sound familiar. I'm not depressed. Is that why you've been crying? Why you scream when no one can hear you? I sure hope you don't try to hang yourself. Shut up! I punched my glass self in his face. Shattered pieces fall to the ground in a symphony of crashes. I stare down at the broken pieces. With shaky hands, I pick up a long shard of glass. It's only thick enough for me to see my own eyes. It scares me, the emptiness in my eyes. I look up to what remains in my mirror. My condescending self is gone. Broken. My eyes shoot back down to the shard in my hand. With my right hand, I firmly grasp it. My vision begins to crane towards the blank canvas that is my left arm. Like writing a book, right? There's glass in my pen. My blood, the ink. I press the cold glass against my skin. My body shivers upon contact. My hands continue to shake violently. Against the blade long ways, I angle the blade long ways and clench my eyes. Just one cut. I have to see her again. I can't go on like this. I just want to be with her again. I just want to see her. My breathing grows heavier and heavier. My arm refuses to move. Do it. Do it! Dang it! I drop the glass shard and it breaks into even smaller pieces among the impact. I can't do it. My breaths grow shallow. I slide down my bathroom wall until I reach the floor. I can't do it. I huddle into the fetal position on the freezing tiles. My body lays still in a puddle of blood and tears, the broken remnants of my mirror in front of me. Tears continue to pour out of my face. Why, Yuri? Why is it that every time you make me cry, I love you a little bit more? I continue to cry until I can't cry anymore. I cry until I no longer feel the pain inside. Acceptance. Time doesn't heal all wounds. It just allows you to become numb to the pain. It's been a long ride. There's a lot of things I wish I didn't do. I bottled all my pain inside. But now I have to let go of you. The memories we made, all the time we shared, all the love we gave, and that perfume in your hair. Your name is etched into my heart. Your laugh will ring through my ears. I refuse to let me be torn apart. I won't be consumed by my fears. I continue life with you in mind and live every day just for you. The wounds will heal given time as you sit there in that sky of blue. You lay there, still without a sound, and fly up to heaven's sky. The casket sinks into the ground, and thus I say my last goodbye to my amethyst angel. My eyes drop ever so slowly. What? My body goes into a state of shock. What the heck? How'd I get here? I pan my eyes along the landscape. How am I here? I was at home. I remember falling asleep on the floor. Ugh. The low-hanging sun blinds my vision. I raise my hand to shield my eyes. Suddenly I spot a figure in the distance. I walk slowly towards it. Slowly, but the figure starts to take form. Huh? I pick up my pace. Yuri? Yuri! I wave my arms to get her attention. Eventually I arrive just a few feet from her. She finally notices me. Hello, Super Booper. I take a look around at the landscape. Yuri has her back turned towards me as if she's looking at the same scene as me. She gives me a sidelong glance. Yuri, what's going on? What do you mean? Am I dead? Do you feel dead? I pat my hands along my body. No. Is this a dream, or is this real? Aren't dreams just reflections of the real world? Now's not the time for riddles. I begin to take some steps and reach out to her. Oof! What the? I press my hands in front of me. Ripples float through the air. There's some sort of magical barrier between me and her. Yuri, I can't get through. I bang my hands against the wall. Yuri finally turns to me. You're not ready yet. What? Her voice has an echoey, almost angelic sound to it. It sounds far away, but so clear at the same time. No. Please. Please let me in. I wish I could. If I let you, you wouldn't be able to go back. What if I don't want to go back? I want to be with you. I know. But you have others who rely on you. They need you. I'll just let them down like I let you down. Yuri gives me a puzzled look. I'm sorry. I begin to cry. My tears slide down my cheeks to my chin before crashing down to the earth. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I shouldn't have yelled at you. I should have been there to support you when you needed me. Tell me, Super Booper, why do you blame yourself? Isn't it obvious? I didn't do anything to help you. You have no idea how much you helped me. If it weren't for you, I would have taken my life long before. I would have died without at least knowing what true love is like. I can't imagine a worse way to go. I don't want you to go. I respond in a shrill voice. It hurts to talk through my tears. I can't do this without you. Did my poem not mean anything to you? I meant every word I said. How can you be so quick to forgive me? Super Booper, you were never to blame in the first place. I hang my head and continue to sob. Now my tears just spill straight from my eye sockets. I don't know what to do. I need your help. There has to be a way to bring you back. I think we both know that's not possible. My voice drops down to a whisper. I know. It's just so hard. My heart refuses to move on. It's like my mind is telling me it's not worth it anymore. Why live when the only thing worth living for is gone? The reason she's gone is because of me. I continue to hang my head in sorrow as I watch my tears hit the dirt. Can you answer another question for me, Super Booper? Okay. Hypothetically, if you were diagnosed with cancer tomorrow, would you blame yourself for getting sick? What? That was a random question. No. No, I wouldn't. She takes a step closer to me, as close as this invisible barrier will allow her. Then why do you blame yourself for having depression? I look up at her. She stares at me. No, not at me. It's like she's staring directly into my soul. She's staring at my true self. I'm found speechless. The words she's saying toss and turn in my head. You have to go now. Wait, but you have your own life to live. You have other people counting on you. Please don't make the same mistake I did. What about you? What about us? She gives me a soft smile. I can wait for you. Perhaps when I see you again, we can hold hands just like we used to. Now it's my turn to give her a soft smile. A soft, teary-eyed smile. Yuri, I think I finally learned what love is. Did you now? I nod. She gives me a look like as if she knew I was going to say that this whole time. Perhaps you can tell me what that meaning is when we see each other again. When will that? But now you have someone waiting for you. What?
Super Booper? Super Booper! Super Booper, where are you?
Huh? I wake up in a cold sweat on my bathroom floor. What happened? Where's Yuri? I look around and collect my bearings. The shadow remains in my mirror on the floor. I finally realize where I am.
Hello? Anyone home?
A familiar voice calls out from my bathroom door. Sayori. She can't see me like this. I attempt to get up. My head feels like it's splitting open. I press my hand against my forehead and shut my eyes lightly. I can feel my brain pounding against the front of my skull. The bathroom door gently opens. Super Booper.
Ah! Super Booper!
She rushes over to me.
Super Booper, what did you do?
Her eyes begin to scan the room like a detective. She notices the glass on the floor and the blood on my knuckles. She grabs my wrist and examines my hand. You punched your mirror? She says that with a disappointed tone. I didn't like what I saw.
Super Booper, do you think you're ugly? Because you're not. I think you're very cute.
The corners of my mouth slightly curl. Thanks, Sayori.
Let's clean you up.
She searches the cabinet for some bandages and peroxide.
Bingo! Let's get you off your butt.
Sayori throws my arm over her shoulder and pulls me up. I try not to put weight on her, but as soon as I stand up, my eyes enter another dimension and I become dizzy. Sayori supports me.
Here, lay on the counter.
She carefully sweeps off any excess shards of glass. I do as I'm told and rest myself upon the bathroom counter. What are you doing here?
The doctor told me I was in good enough condition to leave. So I figured before I went home I'd visit you. I'm glad I did. How long have you been on the floor?
I shake my head. I have no idea. Sayori gives me a pouty look.
You really shouldn't sleep on the floor. It's bad for your neck.
I know. I still find myself victim to one of Sayori's lectures. She gestures for me to raise my hand over the sink, and I do so. The bottle of peroxide hovers menacingly over my hand.
This is gonna sting.
I know. Sayori tips the bottle. I keep my mouth shut to not show any display of pain. Sayori dabs the wound with a wet towel and begins to bandage it up. Guess you learned some stuff in the hospital, huh? Sayori gives me a large smile.
Just call me Nurse Sayori from now on.
I give a small chuckle.
You know, Super Booper, this kind of reminds me of when we were kids.
Yeah? How so?
Well, the roles are reversed now, but I remember when we were little kids, we would always play in the neighborhood. We'd run around, climb trees. I would always try to keep up with you, despite you being much faster. Sometimes I'd fall and get hurt. And you would stop everything and come care for me. Whether I scraped my knee or cut my hand, you were always there to help me. You'd say, Sayori, look at me.
Oh, no, I wanted to read that.
It's okay. Everything will be okay. I remember I used to just start crying around band-aids in my pocket. I used to just start carrying... I need to stop. I remember I used to just start carrying around band-aids in my pockets just in case you hurt yourself.
No, that was me talking.
You would make me feel better and stayed with me until the pain went away.
I remember back to when Sayori and I were little kids. Getting into trouble left and right. All the things little kids do. I guess I always assumed Sayori and I were equal. I didn't realize that all this time she was just trying to stay close to me.
Remember when I fell into that pond near the park?
Yeah. Your parents were mad. You jumped in because I was drowning.
You jumped in because I was drowning.
You weren't drowning. The water was about 2 feet deep.
Is that so?
I realize my hand has already been fully bandaged, yet Sayori still hasn't let go of it. My eyes lock onto her sky blue ones. This is what Yuri meant, isn't it? That I have some unfinished business here. I can't leave without knowing the people I care about will be okay. Sayori notices she's been holding my hand and quickly lets go.
Sorry.
It's fine. We should sit down somewhere.
Okay.
Sayori and I step out into my room. I take a seat on my bed.
Hey, what's that?
Sayori walks towards a small wooden box sitting atop my nightstand.
It looks like a radio.
Yeah, it is. I remember when Yuri gave me that radio as a gift. That was one of the few things I have to remember her by. Sayori bends down eye level with the wooden radio. Her eyes dazzle like a child's. She brushes her hand along its edges. Eventually her fingers find the dials. And then, click, the room fills with music. Not a bad tune.
I like it.
Sayori begins bobbing her head up and down to the rhythm.
This is really cute. Where'd you get it?
Yuri gave it to me.
That's sweet. Where's Yuri now?
She doesn't know. That makes sense. She's been in the hospital this entire time. Sayori, why don't you take a seat?
Okay.
Sayori gives me a look of concern. She sinks down next to me. Where do I even begin? I guess I should start from the beginning. All the way from the beginning. Remember that day Yuri and Monica got into an argument and Yuri ran out of the room? Tell Sayori the whole story. Give her as many details as I can over what happened the past several months. Well, everything minus the past few days.
That's not true.
I stay silent to allow Sayori to process what she just heard.
You're lying.
Her voice cracks and she breaks into a sob. Sayori throws herself onto me, and I feel a wet spot form on my shoulder. She cries loudly into my ears. I simply stroke the back of her head to comfort her. After a few minutes, Sayori seems to compose herself as much as she can. I grab her by the shoulders. Sayori, look at me. I speak to her in a soft voice as if she was made of glass that could shatter by any loud noise. It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. I'm here for you. Always. Sayori nods as she wipes away her tears.
You seem to be taking this rather well.
I look down at my bandaged hand. I wouldn't exactly say that. But recently I did have a change of heart. What's the word for that? Yuri smiles through her tears.
An epiphany.
I don't think that's quite right, but sure, we'll go with that. She gives me a small grin. I can't really explain it very well. It's just like something inside me is telling me it's time to move on. I know it's weird, but...
I believe you.
Sayori brushes the hair out of my face. You're my best friend, Sayori. And I mean that in the best way possible.
I know you do. It took me some time to understand that.
I've made a lot of mistakes.
So have I.
I've hurt a lot of people.
And so have I.
I've quietly chuckled to myself. I suppose we're both just huge messes, huh?
That's why we make such great friends.
She gives me the most sincere smile I've ever seen rest upon her face. I suppose I was wrong, Sayori.
Huh?
You can't really fully get rid of depression. Not alone, at least. I turn to my bathroom. Don't make the same mistake I did. Yuri's words ring through my ears. I think it's best if we take this journey together. No one can battle their demons alone.
I think I'd like that. So what do we do now?
Keep on living, I suppose. Yuri may not be here physically, but I believe she's out there. She's somewhere out there, waiting for me. She stares over at my bathroom as well, and then looks at my wrist. There's a small indent where I pressed the glass against my arm.
I need you to stay here.
She placed her small hands over the area of my arm I nearly cut open.
Please.
I stare at her. I peer straight into her blue eyes, her windows of the soul. I'll stay here. I grab her hand and entwine my fingers with hers.
You promise?
I promise, Sayori. My story's not over yet. Epilogue? Okay. This is gonna be a longer video, guys, but... Ooh, a year later. It's gonna be a longer video, but... I want to finish it out this time. I wake up to the sun telling me good morning. The early sunlight shines through my window, filling the room. I don't feel very well today, however. Today is an exceptionally difficult day to wake up to. January 5th, Yuri's birthday. It's a grim reminder of how I failed to protect her. I begin to stretch out my arms. Time to get up. I finish my morning routine like any other day. Take a shower, get dressed, eat. Same daily routine every day. I do the same exact thing every day. For what, I ask myself? For what, I ask myself? It's not like I have anything to look forward to. I find myself thinking negative thoughts. It's these same thoughts that almost led to my death nearly a year ago. I lightly slap some sense into myself. Hopefully I can knock out those bad thoughts as well. After all, I promised I would keep pushing forward. If not for me, then for Yuri. Today is a special day, and I have some very special plans. Swinging open my cabinet, I reach for a picnic basket. Next, I work on a platter of food. Make some sandwiches, grab some fruit and water, and pack some pastries for dessert. If I remember correctly, there should also be a spare blanket in the closet. I walk over and gently open my closet door. Perfect! Grabbing the blanket, I tossed it next to the basket. Food, water, blanket. Looks like everything's packed. Place the basket near the door. Oh, I almost forgot. I rush upstairs to my bedroom. My backpack lays in the corner. I sling it over my both shoulders. After making sure it's secure, I reach for the drawer. I stop. I'm frozen in place. As much as I want to move, my arm refuses to move. My hand is locked inches from the handle, as if they were both full of magnets with similar poles. An eternity passes of me just staring at my desk drawer, and here I hold to Pandora's box of all my memories. Using every piece of willpower, I grab the handle and pull it open. Inside is a badly wrapped rectangular gift. I grabbed the gift and head out my house, picking up the basket and blanket along the way. Once I'm outside, I begin to feel 10 times better. The sun beams down on my face, and the fresh winter air fills my lungs. It's thin and clean. Despite it being sunny, the light breeze creates a perfectly balanced temperature. I couldn't have wished for more perfect weather. All the negative thoughts about today fill me, and I'm left with only pure bliss. I continue my trek towards the destination. The park is as beautiful as ever. All the birds have left for the winter, creating a calming silence. Only the sound of my footsteps and the whistling of the wind can be heard. Despite the perfect weather, there seems to be very few people here. I see a few groups in the distance, but other than that, it's empty. However, that's perfectly fine by me. Eventually, I stray off the path. The dense forest begins to fade out. The dense forest begins to fade out, and I find myself in the clearing. It's exactly 1 year since I last visited this place. The grass looks a bit greener for some reason. Take a few more steps and find myself face to branch with Yuri Booper. Haven't you grown big and tall? It's grown a bit. Yuri Booper now stands just a bit shorter than me. I set down my basket and gift and begin to lay out the blanket. In less than 10 minutes, I've laid out all the food in front of me. Next, I pull out some stuff from my backpack, a portable tea set, and a small oil diffuser. I start the portable Keurig, then grab the diffuser. It's a small wooden cylinder with a hole on top. In the side pocket of my bag, I pull out a small container of liquid. I pour some of its contents into the diffuser. A small ray of vapor begins to float out of it. It's lavender. According to the internet, lavender has a calming effect on the body and mind. One more thing. I reach in my backpack and feel a hard, solid piece of wood. Pull it out and prop it in front of me. It's a framed portrait of Yuri. The same one she gave me a year ago as a thank you for being her boyfriend. I can't help but laugh. Back then, it struck me as odd, her giving me a picture of herself. Now it's all I really have left to remember her. I grab one of the sandwiches and start eating it. Ham and cheese. Easy to make and tastes great. Having Yuri's portrait here almost makes me feel not so alone. Hey Yuri, can you hear me? It's been a while since we've talked, huh? I miss you. I really do. Yuri's picture does nothing but stare deeply at me. Everyone's doing good. Monica got kicked out of school. As for Sayori, Natsuki, and I, we all graduated. Well, we all had to take some extra courses in the summer to graduate. None of us really went to school after what happened. But in the end, we did graduate. Natsuki actually got accepted in some sort of baking program at a university. We were all really happy for her. I started seeing Dr. Langton again. He accepted me back even after my outburst. He's truly been a really big help. He even took up Sayori as a patient. How great is that? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm actually crying. I'm actually crying, guys. Sayori's been doing really well at battling her depression. I can't express how proud I am of her. The wind whistles past my ear. It's weird being outside in the winter. When you imagine the sound of nature, you usually picture birds chirping. But all the birds have flown south, so there's no sound of nature at all. There's nothing else but open field and the cool wind and my single cherry blossom. Every so often, there can be a small splash heard from the lake created by some small animal. The only word I could really use to describe it is peaceful. A quick ding interrupts the serenity. My tea is finished. I pour it into 2 small cups. Place one cup in front of me and the other next to Yuri. The steam begins to rise through the cool winter air. Its smell reaches my nostrils. I take a sip. It's oolong, your favorite. I'm no tea smith like you, but I think I did a pretty good job. I've actually picked up a lot of new hobbies influenced by you. Tea, reading. I even started trying to write a book. Can you believe that? Another small gust of wind blows. Yuri Boober leans over from the forest, and a few bunches of leaves spring off. One leaf in particular catches my eye. The sunlight sparkles off it as it floats around in front of me. Eventually, the small pink leaf descends slowly and lands before Yuri's portrait. How about that? I brought something for you. I reach for the gift that has been beside me this whole time and hold it in front of Yuri's picture to show her. I'll open it for you. I slowly begin to rip open the wrapping. As I do so, my vision begins to blur as my eyes fill with tears. I finish tearing off all the wrapping to reveal a rectangular-shaped object. A book. I run my fingers over the embossed title. Sakura's Guide. Remember when you told me how excited you were for this book to come out? Well, it's out. I proudly hold the book up. Do you also remember when you made me promise to you that when the book came out, we'd read it together? I solemnly stare down at the ground. These memories are really all I have left to hold. Well, I figured we could read it together now. My sad eyes stare at Yuri. Her expression never breaks. I don't know why it would. After After all, it's just a picture. To me, it's really her sitting with me. I guess you can't really be here physically, so I'll just read it out loud. I've gotten a bit better at reading, so hopefully I'm not too slow for you. I laugh at my lonesome sense of humor. With that done, I open to the first page. According to Yuri, this book is a continuation of Infinite Isolation, the book we read together way back when. Suppose this one has supernatural elements, has Keanu's spirit, and directly guides Lena to freedom. It's a story that Yuri and I were supposed to share together. I guess I should start now. Loneliness is a fear that everyone must face alone. That's what I thought anyway. But perhaps I was wrong. You're never truly alone. There's always someone looking out for you. I come back to my senses. What the heck, I mutter? The door spontaneously just opened. I stand frozen in place. No noises could be heard from the other side. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, I decided to turn around and look outside my window. Through the bars of the window, I see a single leaf from the sakura float into my room. It dances through the air before elegantly landing on the cement. What I do next, I'm not entirely sure why. I feel drawn to this leaf. I gently lower myself and pick it up. It glows as I twirl it around in my fingers. There's a drastic difference between the elegance of this leaf and the dirtiness of my fingers tips. It's a balanced sight to take in. Without thought, I placed the leaf in my shirt pocket. About 10 minutes pass by and I finish the first chapter. I timidly close the book and look up at Yuri. No longer trying to hold in my tears, I let them flow down my cheeks like waterfalls. Tears don't fall, do they? Yuri, I truly do love you. You saved me. I choke on my words. You showed me a part of myself I didn't even know existed. You made me feel things I didn't quite understand. But for some odd reason, I was okay with that. For once I saw what it meant to truly love something. To love someone, something so much that you would give them everything imaginable if you could. You were my world. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. My eyes are puffy and red and my sleeve is damp from me wiping my tears. I'm gonna keep moving forward though. I promise you that. And I will never break that promise. Yuri's portrait stares at me. Her beautiful lavender eyes had still managed to pierce mine. But behind those eyes was a broken girl that needed someone to put her back together. It's hard to believe someone so perfect could be part of this reality. She was pure. She wasn't from this world. She was a fallen angel. And now the angel has finally returned home. What was that? Oh, okay. Well. Dear player, thank you so much for playing Doki Doki Fallen Angel. It has been a long year of development. Despite that, I do not regret taking on this project. It's changed my life in so many ways. Being part of this community and being able to share my work has been such a blessing. Thank you to the team for making this possible. I couldn't have done it without them. With Fallen Angel, I wanted to tell a story that would hit many emotions. You succeeded there, buddy. I wanted to take the DDLC community to a place it's never been before. I wanted to share a lesson that even I myself needed to learn. Our time in this world is limited. The ones with us won't be here forever. So we should cherish the time we have now. Enjoy life as it comes. Don't dwell on the past or stress about the future. Oh, I wasn't done reading that, but okay. Nope, I'm clicking off that now because I saw it. Oh man. Oh, this one has been an adventure, and I have now cried on camera. Oh man. Wow. That was really heavy. Oh gosh, I've been recording for a while. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. Gosh, I don't even know what to say. I really liked that mod. It's been a while since like a game or a VN has actually made me cry. Or really anything, like a game or a book or a movie. None of them made me cry in a while, so it's really good. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and this series. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribing would be really nice. With that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I won't cry in that one. Bye!